Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some more rally racing? Well, we got exactly 2 of those left, and tonight, let's play some more Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, while I'm waiting for some laundry to get done, because I need stuff to wear to work tomorrow, and my son's blanket that he crapped all over in the middle of the night, because he had gnarly diarrhea, needs to be washed also, so, yeah, with that. It's, dude, I feel bad for the little guy, man. He had an awful, awful fucking weekend. So, Saturday night, everything was fine, really. Like, we went out to Mexican food. He had a little bit of, you know, like my beans and rice and stuff, because he loves that shit. And then, we were also house-sitting for my mom-in-law. And, we tried spending the night over there, because, you know, we gotta take care of the animals and stuff. So we were going to spend the night over there, and she may very well have had the least comfortable bed I think I have ever attempted to sleep in my entire life. And what's worse is that we didn't have Harrison's crib. It was too big to take out of our room, and we didn't want to spend the time, like, disassembling the whole thing. But we didn't have, like, a backup plan, because we didn't have, like, one of those little pack-and-play things that you can, you know, have as, like, a substitute bed in a way, and so he had to try to sleep with us. But that was the worst bed I have ever slept in. I mean, you may as well have just like poured like about 20 bags of rocks into a rectangular mold and then tried sleeping on it. Like, that's about what it was. And so 2:30 in the morning, we end up going back and going back to my parents' house over here and stayed here because, you know, at least all of our actual beds and stuff were here, and it made more sense. But that was a long-ass night. But then, you know, the next night, I get home from work, and, you know, we go out to dinner, and Harrison was fine, and then he was starting to get kind of cranky when we went over to her mom's house to, you know, feed the animals and, you know, get them ready for the rest of the evening while we went home to go to sleep. And he was just, like, crying, and he was really, you know, we figured he was probably really tired because he didn't really get a lot of sleep the night before because he went to bed at 3 in the morning or whatever. And so we're just like, you know, he might still be hungry. We'll get him a bottle when we get home. No big deal. And so, you know, as soon as we get home, you know, kids go to bed. We get Harrison, you know, a bottle of milk. No big deal. He does that all the time. And so he had that, and he seemed pretty fine after that. You know, he was laughing and carrying on, and, you know, he seemed kind of, you know, back to his old self again. And so we're hanging out in the bedroom. We're kind of getting ready for bed ourselves, and we're getting him all, you know, getting his bed all ready and all this stuff. And he's kind of bouncing around on the bed and rolling around and what have you. And he's over there, and all of a sudden, you know, he kind of spits up a little bit. And we're like, well, that's not good, you know. And we'll just have to clean that up real fast. And right as I go to grab a towel so that we can kind of wipe up the stuff off the bed, he just, like, straight up just throws up, just, and it was like a sizable amount. We're just like, oh shit, this isn't good. And then he throws up in a second spot on the bed. We're just like, shit, man, like, he's throwing up a lot right now. And so I grabbed him and took him off the bed and, you know, had him stand up on the floor, so just in case there was anything else, like, dribbling out, it would just get on the carpet. And then he uncorked from the depths of fucking hell or something, like this out of the blue, like, Exorcist grade projectile vomiting that, like, rivaled the movie, man. It was insane. Like, it was like, it had like a professional NFL field goal arc to it. It just went, and, like, he even made, like, the noise that goes with it. He just went, and it just, like, this, whoa. And it had, like, this crazy arc to it, and I'm just like, whoa! Holy shit, man! And so he does one of those, and I'm like, oh my god, is he okay? And then he, like, turns his head a little bit, and he does 2 more of them. Just in this, like, I don't even know how he even had the volume of it. Like, I've seen 40-year-olds that don't even puke with that much, like, tenacity and sheer volume. Like, it was insane. And, like, as soon as it happened, immediately you got the smell of it, because we had our fan going, and it just started blowing that smell of, like, milk and stomach acid and Mexican food and fish sticks. It was just like this horrible amalgamation of just awful smells that you just couldn't get rid of it. And I'm just sitting here like, what the hell are we gonna do? And so I was just like, take him, go give him a bath, you know, I'll start cleaning up all of this chaos. And so she gets him in the bath, he ends up falling asleep in there, you know, while he's in the bathtub. And so she's like, I don't know what to do at the moment. And so I had to bust out the carpet cleaner. I had to take all the bed sheets off and all this stuff, and I got to go take a towel and try to, like, manually get most of this chunky mess off the floor. And I'm down there, and I catch a whiff of it, and I almost throw up on top of his stuff. And then, but we get, you know, I bust out. I had the carpet cleaner. We got everything all fixed up, you know, all that. And so brought him back in. We got him, you know, new clothes. Put him into bed. No big deal. He's asleep for like 45 minutes. Oh shit, there we go. He was asleep for like 45 minutes or an hour, and we're sitting there watching a movie, and then all of a sudden we hear him coughing, and then he throws up in his bed. And we're like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck? And so we take him out of there, and he's just retching. I take him, and I put him on the floor again. He's just retching and puking some more. I'm just like, fuck. Okay, well maybe he got the rest of it out. You know, no big deal. And so we got him changed again, and you know we got him to fall asleep, and he fell asleep on me for a while, and everything was fine. He fell asleep there for an hour, and we figured, okay, he's so damn exhausted from all this, you know, this will probably be what gets him to fall asleep, because he didn't really have a lot left to throw up. And so, you know, after he'd been sleeping on me for about an hour, and I was starting to fall asleep, I had his stuff in the laundry, and so I was like, all right, I better go move some stuff over. And so I run out to the garage real quick. I was just like, keep an eye on him, because Michaela was starting to fall asleep because she was exhausted. And no quicker did I run out there and move stuff over to the dryer and come back in. The very second I took a step in, he starts throwing up in his bed again. And we're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he's got nothing left to throw up, but he just keeps on doing it. And he's retching and he's crying because it just hurts so damn bad. And we feel awful for him. And it's just like, you know what? Like, we have nothing that we can do for him here, and he's just gonna keep on doing it. So I just grabbed his diaper bag and a blanket and his pacifier, and I took him to the hospital. It was 1:30 in the morning. Took him straight into the hospital. Got straight in, and you know, they tried to give him some Zofran to control the nausea, and no sooner did they give it to him that he threw it back up. And so it's like, all right, we got to get him into a room. You know, we're gonna you know, check out his vitals, and we're gonna kind of keep an eye on him for a little while and see what happens. So what they ended up wanting to do is they ended up giving him an ultrasound to see if he had like appendicitis or anything. Luckily, after he threw up the one time that I got to the hospital, he didn't throw up after that, which was good. But we ended up being there, so I got there at 1:45 in the morning, and I did not leave that place until 6:30 in the morning. Because we got in there, we had to wait a while for the doctor to come in, and then, you know, we had to go through all of that, and then they had to order the ultrasound, which took like an hour. Then we had to go and do the ultrasound that took like 30 to 45 minutes. They took us back into the room. We had to wait another hour for them to bring us the results, and then they come back out and they you know, try giving him some Pedialyte and apple juice to see if that'll, you know, get some good stuff back into him. And then, you know, they're gonna wait for another hour or so to make sure that he hasn't thrown up again. And so after all that, you know, then they finally discharged me and let me take him home at fucking 6:30 in the morning. At the same time, you know, we got to be up, you know, as soon as I get back home, you know, we're basically getting up and leaving to go back over to her mom's house, because she was actually going on a beach trip with her friends, and so I was going to watch the kids while she was gone. And I ended up not having had any sleep at all, because I couldn't sleep while I was at the hospital with him. I was so full of like adrenaline and stress that there was no way it was going to happen. But God, I felt so bad for him, you know, because he couldn't keep anything down for a while, and he didn't really want to eat anything, and he was just upset over all of it, and he just felt like garbage. And it's like, man, he had a hard deal. And being in a hospital all night like that is no place for anybody that young. It's all bad, but he's doing better now. At least he's The only thing he's got now is diarrhea, but at least he's eating again. He's back to eating raviolis and drinking all that other stuff, and you know, he's generally a little bit more jovial, but he's not really quite been the same since he had to have his last wave of shots. He's just been a lot crankier lately, and he's, you know, not really been quite as hungry, and he's like, for whatever reason, he's like morbidly afraid of the bathtub now. That was never a thing with him. He was one of those kids that you could just leave him in the bathtub all fucking day and he'd go for it, but now he's just like morbidly afraid of being inside of that thing for some reason. Like, he just, anytime water touches his head, he goes fucking crazy. And it's weird. Like, I don't know why he does it. It doesn't make any sense. Because he used to love it, and now he can't stand it. I mean, I know that I went through a phase when I was a little kid where I totally started hating being in the bath, but I was like 3. You know, it was a little bit different. But, yeah, who knows? But, yeah, kid had a hard weekend, man. I feel bad. I feel bad for the little guy. But, in other positive news, at least, I'm actually kind of looking forward to tomorrow. I've started doing customer deliveries now, where I get to do kind of their post-sale, you know, demonstration of car features and all that stuff. And I've actually done about 3 or 4 of them now. They've started kind of integrating me into that. And today I set my first 2 appointments for customers, so I'm really excited about that. I've got one right when I get into work tomorrow at 10, and then I've got one at 1 o'clock right after that. So it's going to be pretty cool, man. But I had to do one the other day where I actually had to take a car and then go drive it to another dealership and then do the delivery for a customer there. It was crazy. And it was mainly as a courtesy because we weren't making any money off of it. BMW Salem wasn't. We were basically doing it as a courtesy to, you know, this other dealer that we know really well. But whenever these types of sales are done, BMW encourages having, you know, like an actual certified official doing the delivery, even though I'm totally not a certified official, but I am at least like one of their actual employees doing it. So, but I got to do it though, so it was pretty cool. Like I feel like I'm a little bit more official now, and they actually got my picture up on the website now. So if you go to bmwofsalem.com and you go to, you know, meet the staff and all that stuff, you can totally see my picture there. So it's kind of cool, kind of a nifty little thing. But yeah, man, I'm gonna actually start getting, you know, personalizing my office to actually have it feel more like my space, because even though I'm using technically somebody else's desk, and she's probably not going to be coming back because she's got multiple sclerosis and her condition is deteriorating really badly, and it's really sad to watch. But you know, it's a thing. It's actually really awkward because she came into the dealer. I don't know if I actually mentioned this in the last episode I did, but she actually came into the dealership last week while I was working, and she noticed that somebody else had taken her desk. And then I got introduced to her, and it's like, yep, I'm the one that's working at your desk. Sorry. Nothing I can, I mean, you know, I didn't choose it. They just gave me your desk and told me to be there, so just doing what they told me to do. So that's just what it is. But it was awkward. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of assimilating into things a little bit better now. Like, I know I've kind of made acquaintances with some of the other guys on the sales force, and it feels a little bit more comfortable now. I don't feel like, you know, everybody's there and I'm just the other guy, you know. Like, I actually have people that'll come and ask me things now, that they feel comfortable enough that I can actually be of help if they're doing that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice feeling like you kind of belong in the new environment. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But while I was taking notes, which the amount of notes I've taken is sickening, I finally am almost done with the 7 Series models, which leaves just the 8 Series, the I Series electric ones, and the i8 super ridiculous $170,000 roadster thing. And like the M competition models too. But while I was taking notes, I took a break for a minute and I was reading some articles on MSN.com, and there was this really obscure article that there's like this restaurant in the Midwest somewhere. I think it was in Missouri, and They made this lady that I would have to assume she had to be pregnant, because there's no other way that somebody would like organically come up with this if they weren't pregnant. You'll understand why in a minute. She got like a little coffee shop, but they sell desserts and stuff there too, and so she decided she wanted to, instead of selling banana splits like a regular human being in society, she decided to remove the bananas and replace them with dill pickles, and so she makes fucking pickle splits. And like the picture of it is just like this fucking like Orwellian nightmare, or like a Jackson Pollock painting of doom and despair. It's just like the colors are all off. Like you look at a banana split and it's got that nice contrast of yellow with the ice cream and the cherry and chocolate syrup, if you so please, but it's just you look there and you're expecting to see the banana, and all you see is just a fucking dill pickle spear down at the bottom of it, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on with this? Like, this is not acceptable. And yet there it is anyways, and apparently it's like the most popular thing on their menu. And I'm just like, that is like going against God and all of the earthly creations that are acceptable on this planet. Like, you should not be messing with institutions like that. Like, that's not okay. And it's ugh. But at the same time, like, it does intrigue me, because, you know, in this article she's saying everybody that's ever bought this thing, they always eat all of it. Like, nobody's ever taking the pickles off of the plate and just, you know, having the ice cream because it just weirded them out too much. Like, I'm saying everybody's just loving it. Like, the contrast of like the sour and the sweet it's like it's like a match made in heaven. But I can't wrap my head around it. I can't bring myself to thinking that is a thing that I should do. So, yeah, it's just weird. I don't like it at all. It's a very odd thing. And then I read another thing. I don't know, for any of my viewers that are females, because my wife's not in here right now, I could ask her about this later, but she might be asleep by the time we get in there. I read another article, and I guess there's some type of cosmetic procedure called microblading, and it's supposed to make the appearance of your eyebrows look like more full and thick and such, so that you don't have to, you know, do eye makeup as often, or at least for your eyebrows, for people that have naturally really thin ones. And I don't really know how the process is done at all, but it involves something, and I guess if you botch it, you can come up with some real weird shit, like what happened to this one lady. And I think it was actually in Missouri. The state of Missouri is just all over the place right now. But this lady had microblading, you know, done for her eyebrows, and the person totally fucked him up, and now she has 4 eyebrows. She has 2 completely separate sets of eyebrows, which is, I would love to see. I never got around to actually getting to see a picture of it, but God, I would love to see that, because I'm sure that is just catastrophic looking. It's just like, oh dear, you look just awful. There is no redeeming quality to anything that you've got going on with your face right now. Like, it's a conversation starter at the very least. Like, imagine being on a speed dating circuit with that. Somebody just comes and sits down at your table, and they're just like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Like, what are you going? Are you getting gearing up for like a sci-fi convention or what? Because that is something. that is offensive to the eyes. But so I give all the credit in the world to women. I mean, the things that you guys do to make yourselves look the way that you do, I wouldn't have the wherewithal for it, man. You know, for guys, if you're not attractive looking, you just gotta deal with it. For women, you could look like somebody parked a semi on your face and skidded the tires for 12 seconds, and then you could just grab your makeup kit and throw some stuff on and walk out there looking like fucking Tony Braxton. It's crazy. Oh, here we go. Simulation mode complete. There she is! Oh my God, I love this thing. This, like, 1,200 horsepower, just absolute wrecking machine. It is, oh, I love this thing. Like, it's so cheap. It's such a slap in the face to the game to even drive it. Just because it's so wildly overpowered, it's just sickening. 973 horsepower. But I think you could actually upgrade it a little bit, and so I might as well. You might as well. Like, what's the point in not doing it? We'll do this really quick. if there's even a thing you can even do. I don't even know if you even could. No, you... Oh, you sure can. 1,791 horsepower. That is not what I was expecting. I was thinking maybe like 12 or 13. I was not expecting that to literally almost double itself. I mean, fuck, man. That's nuts. I'm gonna do it. I'm totally gonna do it. I mean, why would you not? It goes against everything, you know, sacred in this country to not do it. So, oh my god, that is funny. that is comical. Holy shit. Okay, well, we're gonna stop right there, my friends. I can't wait to screw around with that at least once or twice, because that is well worth the price of admission. So, when we come back on the next installment, my friends, we are going to go back into the professional circuit and do some more tournament stuff, because that's kind of our main thing. We got that, and we've got a couple of endurance races to go, and then the game is complete. It's only going to take like another 50 episodes, though, to do it, so yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, my friends. I know they're really sporadic in when I film, but I will get them up as often as I can. So thank you guys for all your patience. I love you guys. You're great. And I hope you guys have a great day or night or whatever is going on. I will catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.